Well, good evening, folks. Welcome to the MCU's Bleeding Edge. We are live January 7th, 2026, to discuss another DC Universe animated film. That's right, people. We are back with our DC animated, so we hope you will enjoy and watch and have fun with us doing this for a few weeks. As we have other stuff coming up soon too as well, which is gonna be so much fun. But anyways, getting into the DC universe is always fun. Most of the time, these films are fantastic. But as we were just talking about in the studio here a minute ago, these last couple have been quite not the greatest. And it's too bad because there's so much more that could come out of these because they're animated. They can do whatever they want with them. So the film tonight that we'll be talking about is Justice League versus Teen Titans. Yeah, Justice League versus Teen Titans. So this got released on video in March of 2016. So this movie is now 10 years old almost. March will be its 10-year anniversary. It actually got April 12th is when it got released actually on home video. It was released at WonderCon on March 26th and then digital on March 29th. Directed by Sam Liu, who we have seen direct other DC animated films as well. Screenplay by Brian Q. Miller and Alan Burnett. Story by Brian Q. Miller. I believe both of these guys, I've seen their names on other stuff as well, too, that have been in previous DC animated films. So it's pretty much the same beautiful universe. We got all these same people coming in. But, as a DC fan, there's such great characters. I mean, of course, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, stuff like that. And then, of course, when we get into these current ones that we've been watching, we get all kinds of other characters. We get introduction to the Teen Titans in this. And I think that's quite, Teen Titans I don't think are one of the comics that I necessarily was a huge fan of or seeked it out, really didn't know much about them. But I think that there is some uniqueness to their characters. And I think that, overall, I think they're kind of an interesting kind of story set. But as we go into this, the voiceovers in this film, I think were quite interesting. We have Taysa Farmiga voicing a character, John Barenthal, Stuart Allen, and Jason O'Mara, he's done voices for several of these films. He usually plays either Batman or Superman. I believe he's playing Superman in this one, if I remember correctly. No, he is playing Batman in this one. It's Jerry O'Connell that's playing Superman in this one. We have Rosario Dawson as Wonder Woman. We have Christopher Gorman playing Barry Allen, The Flash. Tamar Moore is playing Cyborg. And then, of course, Stuart Allen is Damian Wayans, Robin. And then we have all the other characters. We got Nightwing, Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy, and then, of course, Blue Beetle. I think it's funny. Taysa Farmiga is voicing Raven, which is completely a different type of character, I feel, than her. But anyways, so great all-star voice cast there for you folks. So just to kind of get the ball rolling, guys, what were you guys' overall thoughts on it? Overall as a film, and compared to, say, the last one that we reviewed, would you say that it was worse or better than the previous one? And I'll start with you, Time Cop.
Yes, Time Cop has reborn. Yes, Time Lord. Hello, everyone. So I thought this was better than the last one, Batman Bad Blood, right? We did last week. And you brought up the writers. Alan Burnett, he's been part of the DC stuff for a while, since Batman the animation series. So he's been part of the DCAU. He's a great writer. He wrote a lot of classic episodes in the DCAU universe. So I think this was the most better written of this new 52 DC share animation movie universe we've been reviewing since Flashpoint. Um, I'm a big Teen Titans fan. I was very excited for this movie. I heard good things about this. Uh, they're basing their, this lineup from the new 52, from the DC Rebirth. But as a fan, Teen Titans, I always prefer the Wolfman slash the 2003 cartoon lineup because they're the most iconic. So for this, they they did a good job with this version of Teen Titans. They were pretty faithful. Like we'll discuss this later. I think the plot with Raven and her father, that's actually directly from the the new run of the Teen Titans when they actually came back in the 80s, the new Teen Titans. So that was cool that they made that into the plot here. Plus mixing that with the new 52 slash Rebirth lineup of the Titans, like Damian Wayne's not part of the Teen Titans. That's like much later. Like that's part of the DC Rebirth. And of course, Cyborg not being part of it is because of the new 52, because he, joined the Justice League. So overall, I like this movie. I think this is better than the last one we reviewed because Batman Bad Blood was doing too much here. Justice League versus Teen Titans did a really good job of just like having better focus. It was a good, origin story for Teen Titans. If you don't know them, did a really good job of like giving you who they are. And I thought that it was very adorable. I did laugh a couple times here, which is something that these movies don't do. Like these movies are so unfunny. Like it was so bad, but with this movie, I actually laughed a couple times, and so that shows that the writing was so much better. So that's my thoughts right now. I'm very excited to talk about this movie. I thought this was the better entry with these direct videos.
Thank you, sir. Jeff, same question.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot to be better than Bad Blood. That shit was fucking rough at times. Not one of my favorite DC animated films. This is definitely an improvement. This one's Justice League versus Teen Titans is pretty short. Similar to Bad Blood, it's pretty short. But it's better. It is a better film to watch. Bad Blood is all over the place. It's got unnecessary shit happening. And stuff like that really hurts it. Really lame villains and I guess the plot of this film that we're reviewing right now tonight is better, at least the threat of like Trigon or whatever, that's like a formidable villain. I've got things to say about how they actually beat him so easily, kind of in the end, you know what I mean? But I'll let you know what that city was that they were in, that Trigon was like walking around, knocking buildings over and all that shit. They never tell you what city they're in. I noticed that they have that whole dynamic going on where they have Wonder Woman and Superman hooked up, they're like a romantic item or whatever in this movie, this version of the Justice League. That's an interesting twist, to just eliminate what's her name? What's Clark Kent's girlfriend from the newspaper?
Lane.
Yeah, Lois Lane. You just eliminate Lois Lane completely and just have Wonder Woman be the romantic interest or whatever, that's like, it's different. It took me a minute to figure that out. Because the civilian version of Wonder Woman, I couldn't tell that was her at first, it didn't look like her. It didn't look like Diana Prince normally looks like, honestly. She looked different, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was definitely an improvement over Bad Blood, but at the same time, there's stuff that happened in the course of this film that I wasn't a fan of, like the dance off that they have. I thought was really gay, And you know, that just that I mean, that whole like you know, carnival sequence or whatever, you know, that they went where they went to the carnival or whatever was just really like lame, you know. So yeah. And I don't like Blue Beetle in the Teen Titans either. I'm not a big Blue Beetle fan personally. And I can like literally like give or take with him as a character, like he's whatever to me, you know. I walked out on the Blue Beetle film, you know, like halfway through because I was like just not feeling it. Yeah, I mean, I personally I don't like him as a part of the Teen Titans. I prefer, you know, the version that without him that has Cyborg on the team, you know. That's, you know, that's my ideal Teen Titans squad. You know, and I don't like Starfire leading the team. I don't like that dynamic personally. The voice acting is like for the Titans. I'm not sure if those are the same voice actors that do the show that came out or not.
No, they're new actors. Obviously, Robin is from the Batman movies we've been reviewing as of late. These are new ones, which is a shame because I like those actors you're bringing up right now.
Oh, from the
cartoon,
the show that came out a couple of years before this movie came out.
Oh no, a long time. Yeah.
When did that show come out? The original Teen Titans cartoon show.
Yeah, so original from 2003 to 2006.
Okay.
And
so
I
it was
think
a long time ago. Okay.
Yeah, a long time ago. And then the one currently, I think your memory is Teen Titans Go. That came out like around this time.
Oh yeah, they still have new episodes of that like coming out. I think, you know, like that's a very popular show.
Yeah, it's very popular for young kids.
Yeah, young kids love that show. It's actually a pretty entertaining show, honestly. Aren't those the same voice actors from the original cartoon on that show?
Yeah. All of them are from the original. So at least that's a good thing.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So yeah, Cyber. You know, like I said, as we break it down, I've got complaints, you know, and everything. But you know, all in all, you know, I've seen worse DC animated films than this, but this is not like one of the better ones.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good job. All right. Both of you. Great job. Great job. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of this one. I'm not a big fan of the animation. I do like the voiceovers. I think that the voiceovers are fun. I think the plot is interesting. And I think that there's a lot to this that could have been really awesome, but overall, I wasn't a huge fan of this particular one, this 26th film of the DC Universe original animated films. But I do enjoy the whole thought process of what this film was trying to do, bringing that comic book to life and all that kind of stuff. But overall, I think that it just wasn't executed as good as some of the other ones I've seen over the years. All right, so basically getting into the plot of the film. So years ago, the demon, Trigon, conceives his daughter Raven with the human Arella. When Arella discovered his demonic nature, she ran away and was taken in by the mystical inhabitants of Azarath. As a young girl, Raven becomes curious about her father. She attempted to use her powers to learn more about him. Trigon finds her and kills Arella along with the people of Azarath. Raven barely manages to seal Trigon inside a magical crystal and what was left of Azarath. Sometime later, she met and joined the Teen Titans. So we'll stop there because I feel that's a nice big chunk of the film right off the bat, giving you that back history, giving you a back history of Raven and Trigon and Arella and all that kind of stuff and Azarath. You know, I think that's kind of the intro of the film. So what do you guys think about that opening intro? What do you think about kind of the introduction to Raven, to Rella, to Trigon, to her meeting and joining the Teen Titans eventually, and kind of her using her powers to trap her father off right off the get-go? Just kind of your overall thoughts on how the movie began. And I'll start with you, Jeff.
I don't remember that happening in the beginning of the movie. I thought it started off with the Justice League fighting against some villains.
Yeah, this is in the mid section of
Yeah.
the story, which he tells the Teen Titans. Yeah, but
Yeah, that's a good flashback, when that happens, but it happens way later on in the film. Uh, but yeah, that's a good flashback. It explains Trigon and everything, there's like a as close as you're going to get to like a DC animated sex scene that happens in that during that flashback, and that was cool. You don't see that very often in DC animated, so I was pretty surprised. Trigon like raped that chick, like it was pretty rough, it did not look consensual. Yeah, I mean, it's like, like eventually they finally get around to like explaining who Trigon is. For a lot of the film, you're just hanging in there. Like, if you don't know anything about Trigon, you really don't know what's going on, there's that whole angle, I'm assuming that like later on in the thing that you're reading or whatever, Cyber, they'll bring up the Justice League thing where they're fighting those villains or whatever in the beginning of the film. Because that's how it actually starts. So yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to talk about something that's happening like way later on in the movie. But yeah, it's a good flashback, and it explains Trigon's backstory and also Raven's backstory at the same time. So it's like multi-purposed. So you get like her origin story too, which is cool. I like Raven. I'm kind of iffy about the voice acting with her in this film, but I still enjoy her as a character. She's great. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, thank you. Andres, same question, sir. What were your thoughts on that flashback sequence, even though it's out of order?
no worries. As a comic book fan, Raven is one of my favorite characters of the Teen Titans like lined up. So I was very happy throughout the film. They did a really good job at adapting her character. And with this flashback, this is pretty much from the comic books. This is how she kind of like comes from. Her mom gets into a cult, as the film addressed, and and of course Trigon impregnates her with her seed that will able to like bring him into the physical world, basically. So I think the flashback did a really good job of like bringing this character into the universe of this new 52 Justice League universe, whatever. I agree with Jeff. I'm not keen with this voice actress. I mean, for Miga, she's a great actress. I mean, just like her sister from Up in the Air and of course the Country films. But I don't know. She's just not a teenager. Which we'll get into. Some of the voice actors here is like kind of like I mean, they're Teen Titans. I get they're teens, but like you could easily get a kid to voice these characters, and feel right, or get a good voice actor. Because I'm fine with Starfire, because at least Starfire, she's an adult. That's fine. Same thing with Nightwing.
But what's up with that though? Since when is Starfire an adult?
I don't know. I haven't read I guess this is from the New 52 or Rebirth. I don't know. That's very weird. I'll get, I will get into it.
I thought that was strange.
Yeah, it's very strange. Like I'm fine with that with Nightwing, because when the Teen Titans was formed, he was older when that became a thing. So I'm fine with that. But with Starfire, no. Like she's always like a age, but I to remember, like, I think in the 80s, like when she does Pierce, she was I think a somewhat like adult, but yeah, it's just very weird. Again, like you have to remember, like from the folks that are watching, the Teen Titans cartoon show, the original from 2003, and then of course the other one, Go, they did a good job of making her more younger, so that makes more sense to Teen Titans. So yeah, so it's just weird. It's part of the Crisis original where she was like an adult, because remember the 80s lineup where they were like already like adults. So so I can understand what they're trying to do here with like Starfire and all that. But anyway, getting back to the flashback. Yeah, so I as a Raven fan, I think they did a good job adapting her origin story. And I'm like, this the one thing I like about this film is because they focus on Raven. She's like a very interesting character in the Teen Titans, and I think all that really worked. And I think the flashback did a really awesome job adapting her origin story and what she comes from and why she has like a a very complex and dark side that you don't see usually in the Teen Titans characters, except for Robin, Nightwing, or whatever Robin we're focused on. So that's my thoughts on the flashback.
All right, excellent. Thank you, sir. Awesome job. And sorry for that being out of place. I'm just going by what the Wikipedia has told me here. So that's where they put it. They put it at the beginning of the film. But where we're actually at, that as you have all presented how it begins, in the present day on Earth, Trigon sends a demonic corruptor to Earth, which briefly possesses Weather Wizard, following a battle between the Justice League and Legion of Doom. Ignoring his father's Batman's instructions beforehand, Damian Wayne helps defeat the entity, but left the League with no background information from it. As a consequence for his reckless actions, Nightwing takes Damian to join the Titans. He meets Starfire, their leader, Jamie Reyes, a teenager infused with technology that turns into a beetle-like exoskeleton. Garfield, Logan, a metahuman with the ability to shapeshift into any animal, and Raven. At first, Damian does not get along with them, believing he can be a better leader when he almost dies in an altercation with Jamie. Raven uses his powers to heal him. They inadvertently bond through this experience. Raven sees flashes of Damian's life and sees Trigon within her. So we'll stop there. So basically, kind of, the actual beginning, as you guys have talked about. And then, of course, Damian going to see and be introduced to the Teen Titans, get introduced to the Titans and all that kind of good stuff. And kind of their relationship and how it kind of works out a little bit there. I have to admit, I can't stand Damian Wayne. He annoys the crap out of me. He is just so damn annoying. And like, I hate seeing this character because he just annoys me so bad. And it's like, as soon as I saw him, I'm like, oh God, not again, not this dipshit. I'm like, oh, this kid is a pain in my ass. And I'm just like, why Batman puts up with it, I don't know. And I'm just like, dude, slap the kid. Come on, do something. Because this is just, this kid is ridiculous. So, like, he got that character is just so annoying and just like always ruins the movie for me because I just can't stand that character because he's so annoying. But overall, other than that, I think the rest of this portion I think is really fun. Getting introduced to the Titans, getting to see the Justice League in action, fighting the Legion of Doom. You got of course Lex Luthor and his big machine that he's using. You got Wizard. You got Toy Maker, Cheetah, and all that kind of stuff, which is really fun. But yeah, I freaking Damian Wayne just always just kills it for me. Anyway, so guys, what are you guys' thoughts on that section leading up to Raven seeing the flash of Damian's life and seeing Trigon within her? And from, of course, the actual beginning where they're fighting the Legion of Doom. And I'll start with you, Mr. Time Lord.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think the actual opening was like, oh, this is fun. When they say the Legion of Doom, I was like, yes, the Legion of Doom. And we saw the villains, so that was a great start, seeing our heroes versus the villains of their, respected Rose Gallery. Chia versus Wonder Woman. Obviously Wonder Woman versus Flash, and then of course everyone gets confused. Yeah, Grundy is usually a Batman villain. If you read like Batman Long Halloween, he's in there. So that was cool to see. And Toy Master. I don't know. That's another version for Toyman, but okay. Yeah. So I thought that scene was like really spectacular. I thought the action there was really nice. I love how like I agree with Cyber. I don't like this Damien. I don't like the voice acting of Damien. I don't like the writing of this character. But it was funny when they use him, where he was just there to direct the people away from that the collateral damage. That was funny when he's like, yeah, direct them where they are. And I love the moment when he throws the batarang to like stop over there. That was very funny. um and yeah, and then you see the shadow creature taking over Weather Wizard. Very unique way for Trigon to do that. Really scary. I like the visual look of the three eyes of Trigon taking over the body. That was really neat. Yeah, I thought that was a great way to start this movie, because like last movie it was like, oh my god, we're just like we start way with the action without really properly getting into the plot. Here it was like very smooth into the plot, like, okay, here's our Justice League, and then this plot with this mysterious shadow figure is like, okay, something's going on here. And then you got Damien, who's a very annoying character, is like there. And then after that, after his recklessness of, I mean, I agree with Damien. Like, he actually did stop, this demon possessed weather wizard from hurting Superman. So, like, he did his job. I don't know why Batman had this problem. So, of course, he's punished somehow. But of course, Nightwing takes Damien to the Titans, and yeah, I this part it was like hard to swallow, because it's like, as a Teen Titans fan, it's like Damien is not part of the Teen Titans. It's a new thing from the comic books, and I'm like, ugh, we have to do that. And I agree with with Jeff. Is like Blue Beetle. It's like, I don't like really need Blue Beetle in the team, but I like Blue Beetle. He's a great character, but he doesn't need to be in a team. He's better off alone, or working with some other superhero like Booster Gold or like Batman, because the first time I saw Blue Beetle was in Batman Brave the Bold, or the other team, Young Justice, that's like kind of similar to Teen Titans, but more adult. If didn't want if you didn't like the Teen Titans, the Young Justice is more of an adult superhero team. That's usually where Blue Beetle is at, and I don't know. I think New 52 or like Rebirth brought in Blue Beetle. So okay, it was good that they kept Beast Boy in the lineup, because he was part of the 80s lineup, so that was nice. Yeah, and then seeing Starfire as the leader, I don't mind that, because like one of the things that's been a problem with Starfire in the Teen Titans stuff is that they don't focus her enough. Like in the original series, she never had a season where they focus her and her like culture and all that. Where every other season they focus on the other members of Teen Titans. Like the first season was about Deathstroke and Robin. Second season was about Beast Boy and her is his new friend Terra, who moves a lot of things, and that adapted the Jewish contract storyline that's famous in the Teen Titans run. And then the third season was about Cyborg, and then the fourth season was about Raven, and then the final season was about Beast Boy and his connection to the Doom Patrol. And we never got to focus on Starfire. So I appreciate the focus on Starfire, because she is a very powerful superhero. Like, she's an alien, and I appreciate that. But again, it's a little weird to see her older than some of the characters in this version of Teen Titans we're getting at. And of course, Damien is very annoying. Like, he's showing off because he's like the best of among the team because of his training from the League of Shadows or Assassins, whatever. But he was so dumb to like fight with Blue Beetle, because Blue Beetle, the Scarab is like a very like like alive, like it's similar to Venom. It's this like symbiote kind of creature that's like living, and of course it's gonna piss off that thing. And guess what? He gets blasted by the Scarab's blast, and he was very lucky that Raven was there to heal her, to heal the rune that he got from the blast. One thing I would say to wrap up, I do like the pairing of Raven and Damien. I think that was a good pairing. Um, I prefer the Raven pairing with Dick, but I think pairing those two, I think, makes a lot of sense. They go well with that, and that's the best thing about this movie is those two together. I thought the chemistry with there was pretty good. So that's my thoughts. I think this midsection is really good. It gets into the plot very like smoothly, and like it's a mystery plot. Like you don't know who's the main villain yet until like Raven like gets the call from her father. In the scene where Jeff says it's a very gay scene. The was the carnival scene where we'll get into, where like everyone's doing having fun. And it's like, okay. And then she gets interrupted by your father. So, yeah, before that. So, overall, I like this mix section. It's really good. It gets me into the mood of the film, which is a good thing.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Great job. Very eloquent, very surreal, very in-depth, sir. I appreciated your talk there, sir. All right, over to you, Jeff. Your thoughts on the beginning that we mentioned about them fighting the Legion of Doom, and then leading up to Damien going and meeting the Justice League, and then bonding, and then Raven seeing the vision of Damien's life with her father.
Yes, yes. The Legion of Doom opening is really neat. Totally fun. Seeing seeing what's his name? Luther in his like, powered up suit, like actually like throwing down with Superman for a minute, is really really cool, and I'm not really sure that I'm like a super like big fan of the way that they animate and make like trigons like magic, or like like power or whatever, like that comes out and affects people and stuff like that. I'm not a big fan of how that looks. Like, I don't know, it's just kind of weird. It's it was interesting that like when the one guy got infected by Trigon energy or whatever, he was like unstoppable for a minute. Like he fought all the different Justice League members and like beat them up, like that was interesting, I thought. I like this lineup of Justice League that we have in this film. It's pretty solid. But I do miss Green Lantern and Aquaman. Robin is a total like, douchebag, like he's an asshole. This Robin is I mean, like, I don't know how Raven all of a sudden got this ability to heal people. Like, I never saw Raven heal anybody before until this movie. I didn't know she could do that. That's new. So I thought that was interesting, because Robin was like fucked up, from getting blasted by like Blue Beetle's fucking chest fucking laser or whatever, that it's very like Iron Man-esque looking, that beam that Blue Beetle can do. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, I'm not a super big fan of this exact lineup of Teen Titans, just because I'm not a big fan of Blue Beetle. He's okay in this. I would expect him to beat Robin, like in a fight. Like, I would hope that like Robin would lose to him, like based off what I know about him. I would hope that like, that Robin would lose that fight. That would be kind of strange if Robin won. that. According to that movie anyway. I mean, you know, it is cool seeing the different Titans that are there, like doing their thing and everything, you know. I miss the influence and like the effect of Cyborg, like being with the team all the time, you know. I like him being on the team. You know, just they make Robin out to be such a fucking douchebag. Like, he's such a prick, you know. Like, I mean, you know, I get it that like he kind of, you know, straightens it out like through the movie. You know, I get that as like part of the film is him doing that. Like at least in the beginning, like of the film, he's a real fucking like cocksucker. You know, like it is funny, like. I don't know how Batman could put up with that shit, you know, like all the time. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like you imagine that Batman would like eventually say something to him, you know? I would imagine. So, besides that, I mean, you know, I think I pretty much covered everything that happened that you listed, Cyber. I think Superman initially gets infected with like the Trigon magic or whatever, you know, at some point.
That's the next part.
Oh, is that next? Okay. All right. I won't talk about that then, sir. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right. Doing an Andres there. One time, Andre, you didn't do it. Thank you, Andre. Thank you. It went to Jeff. Oh my goodness.
I didn't actually do it. I came close.
You did it. You did it. Just by starting to talk about it, you did it. Anywho, it's all good. It's all good. All right. So getting back to the film. Meanwhile, Batman and Cyborg investigate the earlier attack. Superman is later possessed by one of the entities and brutally damages Atomic Skull, grabbing the attention of Diana and Batman. Before calming him down with kryptonite, Batman learns the entity was after the girl, but Superman escapes before the kryptonite can disable him. Batman requests Cyborg to help him in tracking the girl in question. Elsewhere, the demonic Superman raises a gate somewhere in the desert. So we'll stop there because that's a nice big little portion to talk about. I mean, I think quite a bit goes on in that little section there. So starting with you again, Sir Jeff. What are your thoughts, sir, now that we can talk about possessed demonic Superman?
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm kind of like okay with the whole like Trigon magic, you know, like, you know, that, you know, it like infects the superheroes or whatever, you know, like, I don't know, man. As far as like that power that I guess that Trigon has or whatever that he does or whatever, you know, like in the actual outside world, I'm not a huge fan of that. You know, I guess it was like, okay, like it was somewhat cool that like, you know, that, you know, Clark got infected with it, you know, and you saw him like, you know, start to like, you know, freak out and everything, you know, and like fucking lose it like a crackhead, you know, like he ran away from fucking Diana, you know, like when he was like lost, when he was gonna lose it. So yeah, it's surprising that that Trigon magic would even work on a Kryptonian. That's kind of surprising to me, to be honest with you. You know, like I can see it working on like Batman, you know, like or whatever, the Flash, but like Superman, like you know, like you know, and you know, Cyborg, like it shouldn't be that easy to like infect Cyborg, you know. I mean, that doesn't happen until later, but I'm just saying, like, So, yeah, I like the use of kryptonite on Superman, like that's very like very comic book orientated, like type Superman stuff, bring the kryptonite in there. And so I think it's kind of like, are we going as far as like when the Teen Titans actually get involved with Superman? No? All right, so well, I guess pretty much then
just the when he goes to the gate and raises it in the desert.
Okay. Well, I'll just say that I liked seeing, the Justice League, fight against Superman, possess Superman, that was cool. It was cool seeing Batman and Cyborg teaming up to like, do espionage, investigation stuff, about like, the Trigon magic. I like that. And yeah. Again, I thought that like the civilian like Diana, like regular clothes Diana was very like interesting looking. I don't know, something about her just looked kind of different to me. And that's pretty much it, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, going over to you, Andres. Your thoughts, sir, on that possession of Superman up to when he raises the gate.
Raise the gate. Okay. So let me address Jeff's question about Superman being possessed. So yes, Superman and the Kryptonians are powerful, but in the comic books and even the TV shows, if you watch them, like Smallville and the CW, Superman, and Lois, besides kryptonite, actually magic is another weakness that Superman has and the Kryptonians. They're not invincible with magic.
What?
Attack by magic. Damn you, Saber. Damn you. Anyway, so it's not a big surprise if you know Superman. Like magic is another ability that Superman cannot really be invincible to. So he can be easily be affected by magic, like Santana or like whoever in the DC universe, like Doctor Fate. They can hurt Superman pretty easy. Like that's why like Wonder Woman can easily be Superman because she has like the magical abilities to like because she's a demigod. Like magic can beat Superman easy. So that is not a big problem. That's consistent from what I know about Superman and his abilities. But the other ones is like like how the hell like a possession accepts Cyborg? He's a robot. But
Yeah.
I don't know that is a little confusing. Like it makes sense with Batman, Flash, yeah, Wonder Woman, yeah. Like, but with Cyborg, I'm like, I don't know. Like he's not a living thing, right? I mean, but he's half human. But I don't know, whatever. That is weird. It's because like Trigon. Well, I know from Trigon, he's a very powerful demon. So his abilities are like so much. And one thing I will complain about this movie, they don't really make clear like what kind of like how how powerful is Trigon, like what's his weakness and all that. Besides Raven, we'll get into it. Like yeah, a lot of stories like Raven is the one that defeats Trigon because she's the only one that can defeat him.
No, that's a good point. They don't really explain where his abilities or powers and all that stuff come from at all.
Yeah, it's always weird because like he like okay, is he like a version of devil, like is he a version of sentient? That like okay, that makes sense, but like they never confirmed that. Yeah, like it's never been clear like what kind of powers that he has as this like powerful entity from like I don't know, he's from like the underworld. Like they never really specifically confirmed that. Yeah, so the relationship with Superman and Wonder Woman, that's a thing from the comic books that the series had been adapting, the New 52. When the New 52 came out in 2011, instead of putting Superman with Lois, they put Superman with Wonder Woman, and it was just kind of there, like I don't care about this relationship. I mean, it's yeah, like they're similar, but I don't know, like it feels weird without Lois, and like it didn't make a lot of sense. It didn't last long. Like people didn't like this relationship between Superman and Wonder Woman. The only reason we're doing this because it's part of the New 52. Like the last time we saw these two is from the Justice League Atlantis movie. That was like the last time we dealt with this relationship. So it's kind of funny that they're still doing that. Because like Lois comes in when they do the two-parter Death of Superman later on when we review that. So yeah, so I think the Mr. Superman is very unique. I thought the way Batman gets to him is like it's very Batman. Like he has, Batman is very good at having contingency against the Justice League. We saw that with the other DC movie. Was it Justice League Doom, where he created all these like safe plans to go against the Justice League because he knows the weakness, just in case they either get controlled by like an evil entity like what we see here, or like maybe they go rogue. Like it was not a surprise that Batman has the kryptonite to like stop Superman. Yeah, and this part is okay because it's kind of like a mystery because they don't know who Trigon is. They don't know that it's connected to Raven in the Teen Titans. So like this section is just like a very typical like mystery like story. It's like, okay, the Justice League knows that there's going to be a next threat, but they don't know what the threat is about. They just know that it could be supernatural, and then because now it takes over Superman, it's like, okay, the Justice League is not going to investigate and like yada yada yada, and they will know now like it's connected to Raven and the Teen Titans. And it's just wrapping up. Raising the stone thing was kind of cool. I try to remember, like it's been when I read the comic books, but usually how Trigon comes out is usually he alters the world to his universe. So this is kind of unique of like just open it into like a portal. It's it's like very typical supernatural thing. But yeah, overall it's a decent section, not my favorite. I just like I want to focus more on the Teen Titans. We'll get into Hello TV. Yes, I know you like this section. But that's all I have to say. Wrap it up. I date the TV. Just answer all my thoughts on this section.
What? Anywho, thank you for that very amazing contribution there, Mr. Andreas. Thank you for explaining things. Great job, Mr. Time Lord, Mr. Toxic Avenger, Mr. Time Cop. All right, great job, guys. Very well done. Like, I think for me, that section, I think it's interesting seeing Superman be possessed. I think that's awesome, especially with him being a Kryptonian, him being pretty much invincible. That's freaking insane to see somebody like that possessed. That's not a good thing. And I think that makes the film a little enjoyable, a little entertaining there. So I have to agree with, quite a few what you gentlemen have said. All right, so continuing the story. All right, so Starfire takes the Titans to a carnival in order for them to try and get along. Unbeknownst to the Titans, Raven is called by Trigon's entities who attack Raven. She fights them off with aid from the Titans. After the attack, Raven explains her backstory to the Titans. When they return to the tower, the Justice League attempts to take Raven with them. Flash, Diana, Cyborg are possessed by the entities. Batman avoids possession by knocking himself out with a nerve toxin designed to take down Bane. After the League beats the Titans senseless, Raven agrees to go with them to save their lives. But as they teleport away, Jamie knocks Cyborg out and frees him from his possession. Raven takes the rest to Superman and summons Trigon to Earth. Cyborg awakens and uses his apocalyptic technology to teleport them to Superman. Damian stabs Superman with kryptonite, releasing him from his possession, who then heads to release the entity from the Flash and Diane. So we'll stop there. Quite a bit goes on in there. This is one of Jeff's favorite scenes with the carnival. But of course, we have more T-Titan action for Andreas. We got some Bane talking action here that Batman uses some Bane technology to avoid being possessed. Of course, Batman will be the one to not get possessed. Of course, we got Flash, Diana, and Cyborg all possessed at this point. I mean, apocalyptian technology, that's just interesting right there alone. So I think that this section, there's quite a bit that goes on. I have to agree with Jeff on the whole carnival thing. I don't think it fits in very well. I don't think it's anything that great. I don't think it does really. I mean, all it does is it allows them to be in a different space for the bad guys to attack them. So I think that part, when the villains start attacking them and stuff like that was really cool. I think seeing the guys possessed are really fun. And then seeing Cyborg kind of in action is really cool. And then, of course, Damian stabbing Superman, that's pretty crazy. And him being released finally. So I think that's really awesome. So I think this is a fun section, except for the carnival part. I think it's action-packed. I think it's fun. I think it's interesting. I found it very entertaining. So what are you guys' thoughts on that section leading up to Superman releasing after him being released from the possession and then him heading to release Flash and Diana? I'll start with you, Jeff.
Yeah, the stabbing of Superman with the fucking kryptonite was a little bit like too much. I was kind of shocked by that. Like literally, like that really had to take it to that level. Like stab him, right? Like actually fucking stab him. But I guess it's Superman, so like, he just heals from that, but that was kind of crazy. I mean, like, I don't quite grasp like how Robin's able to fight and absorb the punishment that he absorbs sometimes, like in battle, because I mean he's not a metahuman, he's just a kid. So that's I've always find that interesting. The Teen Titans are like, only so effective in combat in this movie, against the Trigon, Knights or whatever that come after them, that want Raven. They kind of put a fight up, fight back, but they can't really, so, I mean, it's cool seeing them all using their powers and everything, I don't have much to say about the carnival scenes with the really bad emo music and everything, and that dance off. Oh my God. I could have done without that. Overall, I could have not had that experience watching that. But
sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess they felt like they had to, add that section in there for some reason. I don't know why, but they felt like that had to be there. And, I don't agree. I like seeing the Titans in action, but, I mean, obviously, these, sort of unexplained Trigon, beings that go after the Teen Titans that can't be killed, they can't be killed, they're not fun villains because they can't be killed, you cut their heads off, they grow right back, how do you win in that situation? So I don't really like that. Completely indestructible villains, that can't be killed no matter what you do to them, you can't win, which is what ends up happening, right? They don't win. So, I'm shocked that Robin like survived that fall in the sky with Superman, like hitting the ground, you know, like from that when that it left a fucking like impact crater in the earth, and like Robin just got right up, you know, like from it, you know, like I was kind of shocked by that. I was surprised it didn't fuck him up. So yeah, I mean, you know, good for the Teen Titans for figuring out how to magic depossession Superman. That was cool. And it was good seeing Cyborg join up with the Titans. I like that. Using the boob tube teleportation and shit like that, that was cool. That's pretty much it, Cyber.
All right, sir. Thank you. All right, going over to you, Toxic Avenger. Your thoughts, sir, on that little wonderful section leading up to Clark going to help the Flash and Diane get unpossessed.
All right, awesome. Yeah, so the very iconic and how you say divisive scene that Jeff doesn't like, the gay scene. The gay communal scene that we are going to discuss is hilarious. I mean, I agree. The music is so bad. I'm like, what the hell? Like, is it like this like very cheap licensed music from some,
on that one like weird Star Trek show that was out a couple of years ago, they actually had gay sex scenes on the show. It was crazy.
Oh my God, Discovery. Oh God. Oh God, it's gonna be that. So I'm kind of with Jeff here. Like I get that they're teenagers, but like I don't know, like could you just make them like play arcade and like play some of the Cardinal games? Like I don't need like this like dance off between Robin and Beast Boy, like that was a little too much. And I don't know, like it was funny to you, Jeff, and say we need to bring this up, but before that, it was just funny. So like obviously, Starfire was like she come off from a bath. By the way, Starfire is hot in this movie. Like that's what they. The only reason I like Starfire is that she's hot. Like she's a very sexy alien. If you read the comic books and TV, like she's very sexy, and I love how she like zooms Robin, Nightwing, Dick Grayson, and like this boy is so horny because of the big cleavage, and of course when she lays is like she's like exposing her legs to him, and it's like, oh my God, he's like getting really like aroused about what Sci-Fi is doing, and then he's like, I think I don't know how he say it, but like, hey, like let's have some fun. And then she had this idea of like fun, and I just love how she like cock blocked Dick in that moment, which was hilarious. Very funny scene, and I just like how we just just made Starfire like so sexualized during that scene, and that's how she got the idea of having fun. It's by her friend Dick. I don't know what you guys' opinion on this, but like I always like the relationship between Starfire and Dick Grayson. That's my favorite couple relationship. I never liked the Nightwing Batgirl relationship. That's usually the other way around. I always prefer the Starfire and Nightwing relationship. So I like that we got a little bit of here starting that up. But yeah, so the carnival scene is okay. It's just like, very typical like teenager thing, which like none of us are teenagers anymore. We're adults, we're freaking old adults. I'm old, like I'm 62, in timeline, as a time travel toxic lord, Avenger. But after that, this is where the plot moves along. I was very happy. I was like, yeah, get away from the carnival, Raven. This is really boring. So Raven getting attacked by her father, that was really cool. And then I thought the action there was pretty cool. And then we get Trigon wants to have Raven to like release him, and then we got the Titans coming into the picture. The thing that Jeff brought up was like Robin, like that's something you have to disbelieve sometimes with these like humans, like especially Batman, like them versus like supernatural or like alien fight. It's like Robin, like I can disbelieve more because like at least Robin, he's trained by assassins, so he's able to like fight these creatures. Now I don't know how protected he is with the Robin costume. Like, does he have bulletproof vest? You know, like Batman has, or like does he have like you know something like a skin that can maybe protect him? I don't know. Whatever. Uh, but we don't get that, and it's kind of weird. But the thing that did bug me, as you brought up, Jeff, was him surviving that crash when he stabbed Superman. Like he should have survived that, but I guess that because he was on top of like where Superman is, that he was able to be safe. I don't know that I don't know. I think you easily be killed by that like impact, especially with Superman, right? I thought that was a little weird. But yeah, I kind of like this action where Raven, stops, everyone and agrees on, taking Superman and Trigon to Earth and like sending them where they were at. It makes what was it the
Power settings turning off
Sorry.
display.
no worries. I think
you.
the TV is agreeing my points here. Thank you, Mrs. TV. Oh, Cyborg. Thank you. I know why he spoke because Cyborg. It made sense. Cyborg had we call it apocalypse technology he has because remember his tech is from the apocalypse world from the new gods from Darkseid. So like I knew that, so it made sense that he was going to use the boom tube as you were saying for Jeff. So that was neat. I like the way that Superman like does help release the entity from Flash and Diana, like especially Flash. Like man, him breaking
Turning
the
off
lake
display
from
14
Superman.
seconds.
Yes, I know Superman is hot. I get it, Mrs. TV. I was getting to that point where Flash was getting hurt by the knee. Wow, that was like brutal. Like I can't believe he did that to Flash. And like apparently Flash say he can heal 10 hours? No, like Flash can heal very rapidly. His powers is super speed. Like he can rapidly heal quickly. So I don't know why he has to take like a couple hours. Like doesn't make sense. So overall, I like this section. I don't like the whole gay carnival section. That is a very like low point of the film. I agree with Jeff. We don't need that. That's just too much like teen thing that I don't need to see. I get they're teenagers. Like just show them play some video games and the carnival games. That's it. That's all you need. You don't need them to do the dance off and like all that. That was so like cringy and maybe like ugh. Like almost like mid 2000s or 2010s, whatever. So that's my thoughts on the section here. It's very good, but okay.
Well, it was 2016 when it came out, so that would be poetic if
Yeah.
it would have that kind of cringy dancing at that time. So
Yeah,
very good
yeah.
job, sir. Very good job, Jeff.
Yeah.
Excellent job, guys. Very beautiful, very beautiful. Glad you explained the apocalyptic technology. Thank you, sir, for that. And great contributions by both of you. All right, quadruple billion points for you both. All right, so getting into the final act of the film. All right, so the final act starts. The League stays behind on Earth to battle Trigon, while Cyborg joins the Titans in a venture to hell to save Raven. Robin confronts and defeats a demon in the form of his deceased grandfather, Ra's al Ghul. Raven crafts a spell to re-imprison her father in the crystal, which she affixes to her forehead. Robin then persuades a reluctant Raven to stay on Earth with the Titans. In a mid-credit scene, a mysterious costumed girl riding a flying chunk of rock is seen heading towards the Titans Tower. And that's how it ends. Ooh. So, guys, what do we think about the end? What do we think about the venture to hell? What do we feel? How do we feel about Raven recapturing her father? How do we feel about Robin confronting his deceased grandfather? Being a happy ending, they all stay on Earth type of deal. And then that mid-credit scene where we see a costumed girl flying down. What are you guys' thoughts on that section? I'll start with you, Mr. Andres.
Yeah. So let me start with the post credit scene, because I know you guys are not too familiar with Teen Titans, or if you've seen the cartoon, like it's pretty simple. So that character is named Terra. She is a new Teen Titans character that was introduced in the 80s. She's a big deal. There's going to be a big storyline that this DC Direct to Views adapt that we're going to review. That's going to be the next thing that we're going to see with this Teen Titans. And the show adapted this character as well. A really great storyline. I'm very curious how they're going to adapt this storyline called the Jewish Contract. That's going to be the next Teen Titans movie that we're going to review. Either this or the next time. I don't know how long. But so that's who he is. And apparently, Terra, this character is going to be voiced by Christine Ricci, the '90s Wednesday actress. So that's kind of cool casting. So that's who she is, and her powers is like she's a very elemental superhero. So she controls everything from the earth, with rocks, water, and all that. So she's a pretty cool character, and there's a twist with her that's really neat. That the original cartoon show did that was so like I didn't expect the twist that this character is going to relate to. It's a major Teen Titans villain, which I don't want to expose. But anyway, the finale. The finale is okay. It's decent. I like the clever way that we get the diamond of Raven to her forehead. I totally forgot when I was watching this movie that she didn't have that. That's actually something that Raven has in her forehead is the diamond. That's similar to like Mr. Sinister. So it was really cool that she trapped her father and it's in the gem. That was neat. I actually like how they did that. That was kind of cool. And with that, she looks more like the comic book Raven, which I really like. Um, yeah, and seeing the Justice League versus the giant Trigon was okay, but I gotta say that when you see the Justice League versus the Trigon in the city, um, was kind of stiff. Like the animation there was not good. Like it was kind of like he- like you like I agree with Cyber. You're in the animation. You could do a lot of things. In animation, you move faster. Like like the reason I like Spider Verse is like the characters move so fast. Like the way they swing is like really cool, and you can make like you could do some crazy shit in these pardon my French. The battles in such a cool way. Here it's just like so like the battle between the Justice League and Trigon was not cool. It was so like slow and pres- presented in or like it was so like not creative. So I thought that was a letdown for this movie. But the Teen Titans versus the demons and like Raven going after her father and then like Damien seeing the ghost of Raisha Ghul, I really like. It was cool to see Raisha Ghul again. Seeing like the temptation that Robin, like seeing the temptation if either or not Robin wants to continue with the father, the grandfather's plan of world domination, or like as we've seen with the Batman films and now this movie is like is he now like his father and like now of a teamwork which he chose the latter, which I think was okay. That was a nice wrap up to this character's arc, so that was nice. Sad that we didn't do anything with Ra's al Ghul again, because he's a great Batman villain, and it'd be kind of cool. He was another villain to see in another Batman movie, but we didn't do that. But anyway, but yeah, I like the way we end the film with the Justice League acknowledging the Titans. Well done job. I love the funny bit where Cyber comes in and brings some pizza And you know, I kind of wish that Cyborg stays with the Teen Titans because Cyborg is so much better in Teen Titans than the Justice League. It's just so weird. Like, I never understand why the New 52 DC decided that, oh, we need Cyborg, or yeah, be part of Justice League. I never understood that. So anyway, but yeah, so that's my thoughts on the finale. The finale was okay. It was decent. They did what they needed to be, and I, you know, the post credit scene, it made sense if you're a big Teen Titans fan like I am. I knew they were gonna do that big storyline that's well known with the Teen Titans stuff. So that's my thoughts on this movie.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you for that eloquent surmisation of that answer. Anywho, to give my thoughts on the conclusion, basically is I think it wasn't horrible. It was entertaining. I liked the giant Trigon. I think that was awesome. I think that, you know, overall it's an okay ending, along with a great mid-credit scene that, you know, gives you insight into another character from the Teen Titans. And then, of course, you know, I think seeing Ra's al Ghul is always fun to see because Ra's al Ghul is such a great character, as Mr. Toxic Avenger mentioned. He's just a really great character that kicks ass and that always plays a really good bad guy. I mean, Liam Neeson's, you know, version of it in Batman Begins is absolutely fantastic. So it's always a great character to see. So that was always fun. So I thought it was a okay ending as well that had some entertainment value. So going over to you, Jeff, what are your thoughts, sir, on the conclusion of the film?
I was very abrupt. I mean, honestly, as you know, as big and powerful as Trigon is, for him to be able to be defeated that easily, like at the end, it just seemed kind of strange. Like, you know, to tell you the truth, I thought that was kind of bizarre. But you know, the good guys win, and you know, I know who you know that character is from the mid credit scene. I'm aware of her. I've seen her in the other Teen Titans shows, so I know who she is and what her powers are, and you know, she's Beast Boy's, like, you know, girlfriend or whatever, kind of, you know. So yeah, you know, it almost actually, you know, for a minute there, it seemed like it actually was Ra's al Ghul, like, you know, reincarnated there, you know, in the movie, you know, until it turned into like one of the, you know, Trionigites or whatever, you know. But yeah, Cyber, I don't really have much to say about that ending. It was just sort of abrupt and you know, just okay. And you know, I do enjoy the Teen Titans overall, you know, so I don't want to, you know, I like that aspect of the film, you know. And I was happy seeing Cyborg, you know, with the Teen Titans there all the way through the end. That was good. And that's pretty much it, sir.
All right, sir. Thank you. Great job. All right. Excellent. So that's the end of that film. So what is the rating you guys will give this film? So I will give it a solid 5 out of 10 because it did have a little entertaining value to it, and some great characters. Mr. Andres, what would you give it, sir?
I give this an 8 out of 10. I thought it was decent. I mean, I thought it was better than Batman Bad Blood. As a Teen Titans fan, I think it did a really good job of, you know, adapting these characters. I didn't have a, well, I had to accept that they're changing up the Teen Titans lineup, and because they're following a particular, you know, continuity / comic run that's like, you know, past 10 years or whatever, you know. So I was like, okay, fine. If we're gonna do that, at least make the movie good. I thought the movie was good. I thought the writing was like better, sharp than Batman Bad Blood. I thought the voice casting was okay. It wasn't as annoying as last time or the previous ones, particularly the Justice League films. I thought this was way better than the Justice League films. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I thought I was pleasantly happy as a Teen Titans fan. They did a good job with these characters.
All right, Jeff, what would you give it, sir?
I'll give it a 6, Cyber.
Wow, 6, higher than me. Holy shit, people. First on the MCU'S Bidding Edge, Jeff higher than the Cyber. Woo! Anywho, so we have a a 6, an 8, and a 5. So great job, guys. Very well done. Overall, a okay film. Nothing great, but definitely, as most have said, better than Bad Blood. But anyways, that is it for Justice League versus Teen Titans. I will hand it over the reins to Mr. Jeff to take us out.
All right. Andre's the pop culture guy. Go ahead, sir.
Hello, everyone. This is Andres Pop Culture Guy. Thank you for joining us on the Justice League vs. Teen Titans. It was a blast talking with you guys with this movie. So it was the better of the other ones, the direct TVs. So recently I did my top 10 favorite 2025 films. You can check that out. That was fun to put together. You can check out the trailer reaction that me and Jeff did for the Avengers Doomsday Odyssey. I posted the single part from the Bond respect review. So the world's not enough is there. So you can check out my thoughts on the 19th James Bond movie from the 1909 called The World's Done Enough. So you can check out that as the better pre-Brosnan films at their golden eye. So check that out. Shorts, did 2 more Running Man clips review. I don't remember. I did a top 10 favorite Catwoman actresses. You can check out who are my favorite in terms of the Catwoman actresses that play. And the latest clip I have here was the 28 years later opening scene that is really cool from the new installment from last year, because we're gonna get a new movie actually in 2 weeks. Now, live stream views. Already know this year. This month is the new 28 years later film, Bone Temple. So I'm gonna do 28 years theme this year. So I'm gonna do the first film and the new film that came out last year. So that's going to be the last theme for January. I got a couple guests lining up. So Luke from the Franchise Addict is going to join me on this Sunday. Hopefully Jack can join me or not. At least I got Luke. I got a couple guest people. Hopefully they can get back to me, and hopefully they could join me either this Sunday or the next one, particularly 28 years later. And I'm going to see the new movie on Friday and Sunday. So I'm going to see the new film, Bone Temple, twice. And you're going to see my short review either Monday or Tuesday, whatever I get around reviewing the 28 years later.
Didn't we review 28 Days Later on the Bleeding Edge recently?
Yes, we did. So you don't have to join me. At least I got Luke to join me.
All
so,
right.
Yeah. Just 28 years later, we did not do. That's the new one. So just let you know, Jeff, about that. But anyway, so that's all I had to say. That's where my content is. And you can't believe it. Like Jeff, I'm sorry, I don't want to divulge, but that was supposed to be the first thing we were supposed to do in my channel, but because we couldn't find it either this streaming or like free YouTube, whatever, it was like so difficult. So finally it's in Netflix or whatever file. Is like it's so much more accessible to see that first film. So yeah, very excited to talk about those movies, especially the new one. So but yeah, that's all I had in terms of my content in my channel. So please,
all right.
And Cyber.
Cyber, go ahead, sir.
All right, folks, if you enjoyed me as a moderator tonight, or if you enjoyed me on the panel at all, you can check out my solo content. You'll find me under Cyberneticshark on YouTube, which is my home base, but you can also find me on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, Tumblr, X, Patreon. You can pretty much find me anywhere. As you can see there, my most recent review is Black Phone 2. If you have not seen that film or have seen it and want to see my thoughts, go ahead and check that out. My second latest review was, of course, the film Good Boy. If you haven't checked that out, give that a whirl. As for shorts, I've been doing more Soras for you guys, so keep your eyes out for those. I think the most recent one I did was me turning into a gorilla, which I think is absolutely hilarious. And then, of course, I have one of me as a cosmonaut, which I think is absolutely hilarious, too. If you haven't seen those, check that out. My last recent mini review was for the film Begonia, which was a really fantastic film from Yorgos Lanthimos. If you haven't seen that, check that out, that little mini review. It's really fun. And, of course, I'll have more stuff up for you guys eventually soon. Just got to find time to record. Such a hard time right now with just been so busy. So keep your eyes up for new content coming up soon for you guys. I have a couple movies that I've seen recently that I got to do reviews for you guys. So keep your eyes up for that stuff and you'll be seeing it. So Appreciate you guys. Keep on following, keep on subscribing, keep on watching us here on the MC Bleeding Edge. Keep on watching Mr. Pop Culture Guy himself and any of the other amazing guests we have on our podcast. We appreciate you. You guys rock.
All right. And we are back on Friday for Fallout episode 4. And for Cyberneticshark, for Andre the Pop Culture Guy, and for myself, Jeff S., aka True Knowledge, we are out of here.